We'll see.
All right. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Confident Woman Incubator Podcast. I am your host, Coach Doreen Lettsome. It is so good to have you from all around the world. Who is this beautiful lady on the side with me today? Oh, this is Yolanda Mitchell. Hello, Yolanda. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Well, we're all better that you're here, right? Absolutely. So we welcome you to Confident Woman Incubator Podcast. As the host of Confident Woman Incubator Podcast, I love connecting with other coaches. I love connecting with CEOs, Christian women in business, because this is what I do. I am a certified business coach to confident Christian women coaches. I coach high performing Christian coaches 40 and over how to develop a business blueprint to gain clarity of your mission, message, and mandate to lay that firm foundation with your business structure, policies, and procedures so that you can build a business framework, construction, and overcome fear, shatter misconceptions, increase confidence, and profit by faith in all things business. So, Yolanda, today we are so happy that you are here on Confident Woman Incubator Podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the world. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your amazing magazine, because we're both editor-in-chiefs of
Woo!
magazines. So just go ahead and give us the rundown on who you are and what you do.
Ooh, honey. So thank you so much for this opportunity to come on your beautiful, beautiful platform of all things business. Coach, listen. First of all, I want to say this, okay? Like my first time meeting you was an experience and it was a good one. So I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity because you are somebody who's not just, yeah, listen, you're a coach and you're going to say it just like it IS is. And a person got to have that tough skin in order to have somebody that's going to be transparent. And the information that you provided for me for my first experience was good. It was great. It opened up my eyes and I began to just see things from a different perspective. And then one of the things that you did share with me was how to just be that brand and be that person that God gave it to me, and you got to be that light. And so I just wanted to just share that with everybody so that I can give that brief testimony so they'll know who they're getting, because you are really a blessing, and you will be a blessing to those that decide they want to come and be a part of your teaching and your coaching. Because even though you did not coach me, the information that you provided for free was priceless. So I want to tell you thank you for that opportunity. So I had to get that out. But yes, yes, I am Yolanda Mitchell, and I also have I go Facebook Live as well. So I do have a Facebook Live show that I do. I also have NewBeing Queen podcast. So I do bring people along on a podcast, and I just love for them to talk about their business, to talk about things that they're doing, talk about life, their purpose, and all of those wonderful things. And as well as I have a YouTube page, and I am a certified life coach. That I'm not in the practice yet, so coach, you can hold off on that before you start saying something. So I am a certified life coach. Also, I have been awarded the opportunity by God to have a women empowerment movement by some beautiful women of God that loves the Lord. They're very transparent and have a loving spirit. And also, I have a shapewear line for plus size women. So, of course, for those of you who don't know me, I am a plus size woman, and I do have a shapewear line, and I try to have shapewear for plus size women. You know, something that can give them like a shape, a silhouette, make them feel more confident in the skin they're in. And then also I am on Clubhouse up under Yolanda Mitchell. And I have a book collaboration coming up called Elevation to Queen Status. That's going to be coming out probably in the month of July. And I'm excited about that book collaboration. It's a beautiful thing. And it's about people really telling their story and things that they went through in life and how God brought them out of it. And that was the elevation that took place in their life. And also, I do have a magazine called NBQ Magazine. I am just so in love with this magazine and where God is taking me at with this magazine. It's different from myself because I just started out, and I have a beautiful mentor, coach, Dr. Kishma George, who mentored me in this magazine endeavor, and it's been a blessing. And this next month, in the month of July, we're going to be doing something for plus size. Some kind of plus size, plus queen edition. For plus size queens, and that is to help bring women who are plus size and for them to come out. as you was telling me about the shapewear, that ministry that you gave me, you was like, honey, you have to stop hiding behind this and hiding behind the logo. You're going to have to come forth. And that was a very uncomfortable thing for me, but I took heed to your word and I did what you said to. So I started coming out and I started showing my face so people see who I am. Just like, this a Victoria's Secret. What secret is it? Who is Victoria anyway? So anyway, with NewBeing Queens, I want people to know and see who I was. And I decided to come out, start showing my body, showing me in the shapewear so people can see what plus size women really look like. And that's what made me really want to branch out and be a blessing to plus size women in the magazine, for them to come out of their shell, because we can let people see what we have on with our clothes on, but what we like with our clothes off. But I wanted us to get to that place where we just stop trying to show people what you look like from your head to your chest. Show your body. Let people know that big is in, big is beautiful, and why you don't have to continue hiding in and going into hibernation as well, but just come on out. So that is more than just a magazine, it's a ministry for me. And also I think that's it. I do have a conference coming up June of this year, which is June 10th and June 11th. I got some powerful known speakers that's coming on. So if you know Dr. Kishman George, if you know Dr. Darlene Townsend, if you know Coach Lakeisha Dixon, if you know Prophet Keith McDuffie, if you know Pastor Vicki Robinson or Pastor Celeste Johnson, if you know any of them, come on Clubhouse under Yolanda Mitchell. They're going to be on Clubhouse. And our guest speaker for that Saturday will be Dr. Cindy Trim. It's going to be powerful. So that's all I have.
Well, that was a lot. So yeah, you are truly a trailblazer, a leader intentionally trailblazing. So the question is, are you lit? When you hear that question, are you lit? And when you hear what lit actually stands for, leader intentionally trailblazing. And when you think about the platform that you have actually built, did you ever think that you would be sitting in this moment able to say that you are lit, that you are a leader intentionally trailblazing?
No, ma'am. Now, I knew I was going to be doing things. I love women empowerment, but I had no idea that God was going to elevate and take it to this level. I had no idea. But I continued persevering and working at it and then perfecting those things that God started adding to that. So you said, well, baby, this is not it. There's more to this. There's more to life than this. There's elevation in this area. There's increase in this area. So I was just so forever grateful to God for allowing me the opportunity to be able to do this thing, So I was just sitting up there saying, God, oh my goodness, Lord, all this stuff, all these beautiful things you've given me, and the women of God that have come forth in the ministry that have been a blessing. That's the thing right there. So no, ma'am, I had no idea this is what God was doing. God will show you like a glimpse of where you're going to be at years from now, but he don't tell you and show you the in-between stuff. And this has been a beautiful experience for me. So to answer your question, no, ma'am.
So how does it feel to have, actually begun all these things, literally trailblazing for other women, and even for you personally in your family? Are you the only one in your family that is a CEO, magazine owner, podcast host? Are you the only one in your family that is actually doing that work?
To be honest with you, out of my immediate family, yes, actually. And I have beautiful bosses. I'm talking about, let me tell you something about my family. My family, we're not military people. We're not military, but we all have come from a background working in corrections and working in security. So I have aunts and things like that we all have been in corrections here and did like 15 years or greater, or 18 or 20 years or greater, in working for the prison. And I'm talking about, I don't know where we get that from, but we're just like these strong women. So me coming from this very hardcore, strong environment where you couldn't really smile much and be beautiful, to being somebody like, hey, I'm letting my hair down. I want to be pretty. I want to be cute. I want to be feminine acting. So yes, Mia. So I come from an environment where our people are beautiful. They have very intelligent women of God. I'm talking about powerhouses, but doing things like what I'm doing, like showing their faces and things like that. My family's more like my stuff. I want to be behind the scenes, so I can do things behind the scenes, still make money, and I don't want to be in front of nobody. I don't want to talk in front of no cameras and stuff like that. So I am pretty much the only one I can think of out of my family, actually. My mom, my aunts, their children that are doing something like this. So yes, ma'am, it is like a trailblazer, like somebody who's really doing something different. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
So how does that make you feel? Did you,
Um,
now that it's kind of like coming to your realization that
let
you
me
are
tell you, let me
literally the
tell
only one, right? How does that make you
you.
feel?
Well, chosen. And I tell you what, being chosen, they don't feel good. Don't feel good. It's not comfortable. Because I do have family. My family, they do have like food trucks and things that they work in restaurants and stuff. They own their own business in those areas. But as far as like what you said, the magazine and things like that, I just say, being chosen because in the spotlight, people are watching. People are looking at you. You don't even know they're watching and paying attention. You got to be very mindful of that. When you decide you want to start branching out and doing these things, you got to know this is of God and that God called you so that He can have you equipped and you're ready to withstand the things that's going on. So yes, ma'am, you tried too. So I have been through the fire because of the call that's on my life. But it's been a beautiful ordeal. It's been a beautiful experience because I've met someone such as yourself. So this is great for me.
Yeah, and it really helps us to really refocus our focus and
Right?
clarify our mission, message, and mandate.
Come on.
When we begin to really realize how we are leaders, how we are intentional, how
Yes.
we are trailblazing. When you just sit in those moments and do some critical thinking, like
Yes.
I just asked you about your family. You didn't even realize, well, wow, I am the only one. And
Right.
just that question has now even provoked you to think even more and get
Yes.
clarity even more on your Pacific mission, message, and mandate and the mantle on your life.
Come
So
on.
with that being said, how do you see elevating and unlocking what's inside other women to help them do the same?
Well, for myself, being that I came from a place of, believe it or not, I didn't never feel beautiful. I walked around like I didn't matter. I didn't feel beautiful. I looked at every flaw that I had. So I didn't think I really had much to offer. But when I began to grow in God and He began to reveal to me that you are beautiful, you are special, that you are somebody, you are worthy. And I said, those are the same words that I want to be able to share to other women to help them to see their self-worth and for them to walk and do what God has called them to do. So I love women empowerment. I love to empower people. But for more than anything, it's like a cheerleader. When they say, well, I'm thinking about doing this and I'm thinking about doing that, I want to be that one to push them and say, do it, do it, do it. And then come back to them and say, have you started on that thing that you said that you wanted to do, that God told you to do? I want to be that one to push them into their purpose and push them to what God has called and created them to do. And so those are the things that I love doing that kind of stuff. I love to see people walk in their purpose. And if they, leave, how you, when you find people that's in ministry, I'm going to say this, when you find people in ministry in churches and they decide that they want to leave the ministry, leave the church and things like that, because they leave, you find some of the church people that would not talk to them anymore, would not even have a conversation with them because they left the church and left the ministry. But for myself, I said, well, long as I can see you inside of the road, see you passing, whatever, we speak and whatever. If you decide to leave and, don't be a part of NewBeing Queens Women Empowerment, I'm okay with that. Can I still say, hey, can we still speak and be cordial? Because I don't want you to be a stranger to me, so being in this arena, doing the things that God called me to do, one of the biggest things I would love for people to do is to find their purpose through God and to do what God called them to do and to be unapologetically.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is that a true woman that is lit, a leader intentionally trailblazing, we have a kingdom mindset that we complete and not compete.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I think I believe that is a prerequisite. That's
Oh
something that
yes.
that I believe, and it's fundamental to all things business, because you can get so much done with that kingdom mindset when you really understand that we are to complete and not compete, and that we are
Wow.
to lead and not bleed, because
Come on.
when we're bleeding on people, that's when there's a
Come
rift.
on.
When if you are, like you gave the analogy of being in a church house, to
Uh-huh.
a business house. If we
Mhm.
can't even speak to one another, and
Come
we used to
on.
be in business, or we used to have some type of business relationship, if we
Uh-huh.
can't even speak, there's a problem.
That's a problem.
There's a problem.
Oh
And
yeah.
that is something that is not approved by the ultimate businessman.
Come
And
on.
the ultimate businessman, Jesus Christ, he set the precedent. He
Come on.
spoke to everyone. He even laid it out in Matthew 18 that says that if you have aught with someone, you are to go to that person and
Come
get
on.
it right and
And get it
move
right.
on. You don't just keep things lingering where you can't even speak to people, or you can't even say hello to people or good morning to people.
Right.
And especially when it comes to business, because it is going to affect the business. And today, our platform every day is all things business. These little things
Right.
really hinder us in business. As you
Right.
said, you are a new business. You are building this platform. You're
Yes.
building this movement.
Right.
You're connecting with other people. But the fact of the matter is, we have to look at the little things, because it's the little things that spoil the vine.
I'm telling you now.
It's not the big, humongous things. It's the
Right.
little things that the enemy uses to destroy businesses every day.
Ooh, come on.
That's what happened with Apple. Steve Jobs, he built the business. He
Uh-huh.
became successful. Well, they decided, there was a rift.
Yes.
A rift.
Uh-huh.
And he left his company.
Mm.
He sold his company because it was a rift.
Come on.
So we see these things through all segments of business, through all income levels of business, that is often the small things that spoil the vine.
Come on. I tell people that all the time. It's not, for me, they say, oh, you petty. I said, it's the small things. It's the straw, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. It's the small things, because what we'll do, we'll keep letting that stuff slide. Oh, I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna let that go, because it's little, it's small. But we have to be careful, because those small things will add up to be something great and big. I tell people, nip it in the bud. Deal with it now while it's small, because when it becomes something big, what are you gonna do with it? Only thing you can do is just move forward when it's something big. So deal with it while it's small. Deal with it while it's little. Even with a child, you need to deal with that child now, because when they get older, they're gonna be a handful. So deal with small things and deal with the little itty bitty things now. Address it, to deal with it, take care of it, so the big things won't happen. That's why I tell people, deal with small things so big things won't happen. Nip it in the bud. So yeah.
And that's just not a negative connotation.
Right.
That is also a positive. Also, when you see the little things that someone does,
Yes.
the complimentary, like you just mentioned, I'm not crazy. I know that I was giving you coaching tips, but
Right.
I chose to obey the Spirit of the living God.
Right.
And because I chose to, obey the Spirit of the living God, who is my boss in that moment, God used me to unlock what was inside you. And now we're even still building a business relationship.
Absolutely.
That, you came out of you came out of that, conversation empowered. You came out of that conversation seeing things in a different perspective.
Yep.
We connected on, here on Confident Woman Incubator podcast. Who knows what else we're going to do?
Come on.
Sometimes we can overlook and say, well, I'm not going to tell her this because I'm not getting paid, or I'm not going to do
Right.
because I'm not getting paid. I'm getting paid on the back end. Okay.
Come on.
At some point, you have to look at all things business.
Come on.
My pay may not be immediate, but you best believe I'm getting paid
Come
on
on.
the back end, because number one, it's the ultimate businessman that pays me. You
Come
don't
on.
pay me.
Come on. Come
And when
on.
I obey him, he rewards. He
Come on.
rewards. He rewards those that diligently. That means he profits. He pays those
Come
that
on.
diligently seek him.
Come
And so
on.
because I choose to obey him, sometimes it can seem like, oh, well, she's just giving it away all free. I'm not giving away nothing all free, because I'm not crazy. I know what I do is very valuable. I'm a certified business coach to Confident Christian Women Coaches. However, at the end of the day, we should yield to our boss and trust that he always is going to give it. If he got to give it on the back end,
Come on.
if it's not immediate,
Yes.
the number one thing is to ask the question, have you been obedient? Are you lit? Are you a leader intentionally
Come
trailblazing
on.
when it seems like you're not going to profit, when it
Come
seems
on.
like it's not going to work? Are
Come
you
on.
lit? Are you a leader intentionally trailblazing? That
Come
is
on
the
now.
question.
Come on now.
That's the question.
Woo.
Because sometimes we only want to show up when there's money involved.
Come on. Right. You preaching now.
But how do you know that there's not going to be no money? How do I know that?
How
I
do you
don't
know?
know. I don't know what's going to take place in this relationship, but I know
Right.
I was obedient.
Come on. Hey, and they say it's better to obey than to sacrifice. So that was a blessing. You don't never know when you're helping somebody, and sometimes you have to, whether they call it investment or giving or whatever the thing may be. Like you say, I'm gonna get paid in the end. I'm intentional about what I'm doing, whether it be through me or somebody else, because I'm the type of person, when you be a blessing to me, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna spread the word. I'm gonna say, this woman of God, yes, you have to pay for this kind of stuff, because it is her time. Your time is valuable, and you want to be a blessing to the woman of God. So it's the same thing if you was taking care of business and you were doing it with somebody else. But from my perspective, and what I got from you was very valuable. Those nuggets that you gave me changed my perspective. It made me see things differently. And people have to be ready and able to handle your realness and your truth. Because it's what's going to help us to unlock that stuff is us obeying God, us obeying our coaches. That's why y'all are here in our life for a reason, to help guide and direct us. And we have been doing things for so long. I've been doing this for the same time for so many years. I've been doing it like this, and then now you're telling me to do it this way. Maybe you've been doing it wrong for so long. Maybe you've been doing it wrong for years. And then maybe it's just time for you to change, because what you've been doing is not working. And maybe God is telling you to do some things because he want to take you to another level. But all of it's going to still be uncomfortable at the same time. All of it's going to be uncomfortable. But God has a place for everybody. And for every leader that's intentionally trailblazing, just understand that it's not going to be easy. You're not going to be able to compare yourself to nobody. God's going to show you, guide you, lead you what you're supposed to be doing, and to work the ministry that he's giving you. And you got to work it to the best of your ability, and don't stop, because a trailblazer is going places that a lot of people have not been, and they're going to be doing a lot of things that a lot of people are not doing. And so we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional about what we're doing, intentionally trailblazing. And that's what leaders do. Lead by example, lead so others can follow, and pave the way for other women to come and other people to come behind them. So this right here this is lit. This is lit. Hey, and like you say, we don't compete. Well, how do you say that?
We complete, not compete.
We complete, not compete. Whatever you got to complete it. Don't give up on it. And you say lead, don't bleed. You know what I'm saying? Like listen, you got these nifty sayings, coach. And look, I'm just enjoying, just taking it all in, because it's lit. This is lit. This right here, this is lit. What you're doing is lit. This is great for women that are bossing up, or women who are just getting started, because of everything that I'm doing it's all new. But at the same time, I don't let that stuff stop me because it's new. Or somebody said, well, you're new in business or whatever. If I get a no, it's a no. I said, well, it's a no for right now, because I'm coming back. Or if you told me no, you're gonna wish you would have said yes. Because that's my mind frame. You cannot allow the no's and the denials and whatever to stop us. We got to keep pushing forward, and we got to boss up. We got to put on our big girl pants and do what God called us to do, and be confident in that. And because knowing what is the word of God said, I think it's in Philippians. He that begun a great thing, he that begun a great work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. Being confident of this very thing, that he that has begun a great work in you, because he's done a great work in us. He started something inside of us, and if he started, he's going to complete it to the day of Jesus Christ. God is always doing a work in us for us to go to the next level. He's always doing a great work in us for us to improve and to progress in every area of our life. God didn't say new being for nothing. That's new being in Christ. If any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. All things are passed away, and behold, all things have become new. I told God, I don't want to do the new stuff. I don't want to be new being. I don't want to do that. But he said I was a new being in Christ. And I said, help me to understand that. This means that I'm going to be always growing, always learning, always evolving, always developing, being pruned, corrected. And at the same time, there's new growth in this process. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be learning something new, teaching somebody something new. All NewBeing Queen. new being in Christ. That's growing. Who wants to grow? And so you're going to be, so I'll be uncomfortable a lot because God is doing something new inside of me. Every day, all day, it's something new, whether I'm learning or I'm teaching, but it's something. We gotta embrace that what God has given us in its entirety and find out what it is and say, God, where am I fitting this? So I can be confident in this very thing that He has begun a great work. And it took me a while to find this place. It took me gaining weight and getting big. It took me being out of my comfort zone, being to that place where I wanted to go into hiding because I gained all this weight. So now I come out and say, I'm coming out. I'm let the world know. People already knew I was big, but I just had to embrace my big beautifulness. If that's the word, I'll put it out there. Might need to put that on the shirt.
Yeah, as you were talking, our focus is the question, are you lit? A leader intentionally trailblazing in all things business. When you are in the position of CEO, and especially if you're in the position of a coach, you want to make sure that you are teachable, trainable, yes, so that you become profitable.
Oh, yes.
And we talked a little bit about this in the green room. It doesn't make any sense to know you need coaching,
yes,
hire a coach, and then don't follow the instructions. That's pure insanity.
Yes, it is.
Because you feel like you want to do it your way. The purpose of the coach is to guide you and direct you. Absolutely. And show you a different way that you not know of. Let me say that again. The purpose of a coach is to show you, guide you, and instruct you on a way that you not know of. You don't know the way. And therefore you need a coach that coaches in position and condition to show you a way that is less stressful, going to get you there quicker, going to increase your income quicker. But if you continue to go about it your own way, guess what will happen? It will still be a way that you know not of. It will still be a way that you know not of. And I look back and I look at different people that I've come in contact with. They're still in the same space. They're still in the same place. They have not elevated. They have not unlocked what's on the inside because they refuse to listen. They refuse to be trainable, teachable, and profitable. And so a lot of times we remain stuck because we just simply don't want to yield to instruction.
And then on top of that, you talk about a coach. They're coaching you along because they don't want you to make the same errors as them. So they really making things easier because you don't have to go through all that stuff. You don't have to go through all that red tape. You don't have to go through all that trouble, but you have to be able to take the correction, but you don't want to have to go, you don't have to go that long route because what a coach is teaching you is something they took maybe 15, 20 years to get. It took them 15, 20, 25 years to get to the place where they are. And they're teaching you how to get there in a matter of a few months, a year. So that stuff going to take some reshaping. It's going to take tearing down some stuff. It's going to take getting onto you and correcting you about some stuff and correcting your mind and your way of thinking. So you got to be teachable because it's so much that they're going to be teaching you and training you and coaching you and showing you. You got to be in that place where they teach you, but don't waste your time or theirs, and definitely don't waste your money if you're not ready. Because you don't want to be wasteful in this season. And this is the season for people to come up.
This is the season for people to come up, but you have to have a mind to come up.
You gotta have that mind. You gotta have it.
You can't keep circling in the same.
You can't
keep circling. You're not gonna go anywhere.
Oh yeah.
But this has been amazing, Yolanda. I appreciate you coming on Confident Woman Incubator podcast. When we talk about all things business today, we've given a lot of examples of how to be lit, how to be a leader intentionally trailblazing. We've given a lot of keys to unlock what's inside you, the listening audience from around the world. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here on Confident Woman Incubator podcast. I appreciate our guests being here as well, giving us some insight and just talking real straight talk. Everybody knows that when they come on here, I'm going to talk straight talk. That's just me. I don't believe in mincing words. I don't believe in going all these flip cartwheels and all this foolishness. I don't do that. So this is what you get when you come on Confident Woman Incubator podcast. And it's a safe place Confident Woman Incubator is a safe place for coaches, for CEOs to come and talk about all things business. And while we're talking, we're actually giving you keys to unlock what's inside you, the listening audience. It's a win-win for everybody. And today we have a double header. So tonight you will be joining me back at 6:30. We're going to have Unlock What's Inside You magazine party reveal for our magazine. This is a double header today. So we'll be back again on Confident Woman Incubator podcast with Unlock What's Inside You magazine, second edition, second issue, which is the spring issue, winner by knockout with our cover girl, Jean Turner. Coach Jean Turner is our cover girl for the second issue. I'm very excited to be having this party tonight and just talking to all the people in the articles and just making it real, because you can write an article, but I like to have the interaction. I like to just for the audience to come and interact with those that are in Unlock What's Inside You magazine. So I thank you, and we will see you tonight at 6:30. See you next week. See you tonight. Excuse me. See you tonight.